Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for staying with us. It's a 30-minute conversation tonight, so let's get straight into it. And now being joined by the National President, Ohaneze Ndivo Youth Organization, Mazi Oku-Nnabike, for a discussion on NLC's nationwide protest and state of the nation. Good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Mazi, good evening to you. If you can hear me, the Nigerian Labour Congress has now suspended the planned two-day nationwide, which was supposed to continue tomorrow. How do you react to this?
Good evening.
Good evening to you. Did you get my question?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Mazi, can you hear me? All right, let's bring you some developments in the polity. Today was a day of protest across the country as the Nigerian Labour Congress led its members on demonstrations over the current economic challenges in the country. President of NLC, Joe Ajero, delivered a letter to the leadership of the National Assembly for transmission to President Bola Tinubu as it calls on government to prioritize citizens' well-being. TVC News reporter captured this protest.
The Nigeria Labour Congress, in collaboration with civil society allies, marched through the streets of Abuja to the National Assembly and were led by the president of the NLC, Joe Ajero. The NLC called on the federal government to take immediate measures to address the hunger in the land. NLC president says increasing electricity tariff and the price of domestic gas at a time Nigerians are groaning under economic conditions is insensitive to people's plight.
There was hunger in the land, but it wasn't this bad until the regulation. And then after the regulation, we proposed all that we needed to. If they have solved the problem of transportation immediately, they would have solved almost 50% of the problem. We are out to do a protest today to register before Nigerians the level of suffering, and we are calling it peaceful rally. You know, the meeting you saw, there was a meeting on Sunday till late, there was a meeting yesterday till late, all was aimed at saying, don't come out, but we are out.
Operatives of the Department of State Services and policemen provided needed security as the protesters marched through. Members of the Nigeria Labour Congress and civil society groups in Niger State began their march from the Labour House to the State House of Assembly, where they presented their demands to the Speaker of the Niger State House of Assembly. In Lagos State, the workers commenced the protest from under Bridge Ikeja and ended it at the governor's office in Alausa, Lagos. The protesters claimed that they are also protesting government's alleged failure to implement agreement reached with the NLC on the 2nd of October 2023, following the removal of the fuel subsidy. The emergency meeting between the federal government and the NLC held last night ended in deadlock, leading to this protest. In Ondo State, members of the NLC gathered at their secretariat at Alagbaka and marched to the governor's office. They urged the federal government to urgently address the situation in the country. They also advised the federal government to fix local refineries. The state head of service, Kayode Ogundele, thanked the NLC members for making the protest peaceful.
Right, let's now speak with my guest for tonight, who is the National President, Ohaneze Ndivo Youth Organization, Mazi Oku-Nnabike. Good evening to you, Mazi. Thank you for joining us this evening. I believe you can hear me now.
Of course, I can hear you very well. Clearly.
Right. So now that NLC has suspended this protest and also extended the ultimatum given to the federal government till March 13, how do you react to this?
This is they are coming back to their senses. Are you hearing me?
I can. Please go ahead.
I thank God they are coming back to their senses. Because when there is crisis in your country, you have to plan, you have to profile solutions. You don't have to go to the street to protest. That means you don't have anything to offer. You have nothing to offer. So we have to rally our president, rally around the president, profile solutions on how to move our country forward and solve our problem. We have no other country except Nigeria hitting the streets to cause crisis is not the best thing because it can be hijacked by hoodlums. If it's hijacked by hoodlums, it will be a different scenario altogether. So the fact and the best thing they did is to suspend the strike, profile solutions, urge the president to implement it. Thank you.
All right. I mean, it was also interesting to hear the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, saying 80% of the agreements with Labour have been fulfilled. We also heard the TVC President, Festus Osifo, also attesting to this. So are you on the side of those who have said, who strongly believe that that protest was unnecessary?
The protest was actually unnecessary.
All right. So, I mean, the president,
Go ahead.
past leaders and major stakeholders have continued to ask Nigerians to be patient with the current administration because President Tinubu inherited a badly battered economy and needs time to fix it. What's your advice to Nigerians?
Yes. My advice to Nigerians is that they should be patient with the president. The president inherited a very bad economy from the previous administration, and he cannot do magic. Removing fuel subsidy is not a bad idea. It's just that it was in a haste to remove it. So, but Nigerians should be patient with the president. He will fix the economy. He will get it better. So protest is not the solution. All hands should be on deck. Because this is our nation. Hitting it up won't do anybody any good. So I urge Nigerians, Nigerian youths, Igbo youths in particular, to support the president. We will get it right.
So now that NLC has extended this deadline or ultimatum till March 13, how do you advise both parties to come to an agreement in the interest of Nigerians?
So many of the agreements they reached with the federal government, by the information available, has shown that federal government have fulfilled so many of them. So them giving ultimatum to March 13th, they should understand that the president cannot do magic. He's a human. It is a process. That process, he should be given some time for him and his team to be able to put themselves together. They are doing so many things. They're not sleeping. The president and his team is not sleeping because they know how Nigerians are feeling. They too are feeling what we are feeling. They hear the cards. This is the president that is watching Nigerian television, the president that is reading Nigerian newspapers. So we know whatever that's going on. So we shall overcome this situation.
So talking about overcoming this situation, how would you advise the president to address the rising cost of goods and services?
First of all, the president should appeal to the conscience of the state governors. The president should appeal to the conscience of the state governors to see reasons to support him. Since he came on board, the allocation has increased to different states. And those allocations that have increased to trillions of naira should have effects on Nigerians, on the masses. The governors should understand that that allocation, that money, that huge amount of money, is not for their personal usage. They should formulate policies, form committees to reach out to the masses. The masses are suffering. There are resources in this country to mitigate those sufferings. But the president should remember to work with the traditional institutions. The traditional institutions, they are closer to the people. The town union presidents, they are closer to the people. You should understand that the local government system are not working because they are in the pockets of the government. We have to live above board to reach to the poor Nigerians. There should be a strategy. There should be a different ball game altogether to reach to the masses. Because this is 8 months plus. The president came on board, and the allocation has never remained the same from the previous administration. There is money. That money, the masses are not feeling it. The president should appeal to the governors or change strategy. Change strategy, have an action committee, state by state, connected by the one from the federal, to go to the downtrodden. We must have solutions, ideas to suggest to the president. There are the ones I will not suggest here. We have written to the president on how to come, or how to mitigate, how to handle some of this on our own opinion and ideas. So we believe that with time, it must come across the letter. We are also free. We are available to talk to the president one-on-one if invited. Thank you.
Right, but when it comes to interventionist measures, how do you advise the federal government to mitigate this hardship as quickly as possible?
First of all, just like I said before, ab initio, you should appeal to the conscience of the governors. Let the governors send their plans.
So we'll come back, Mazi. We'll come back to the governors. I have some questions to ask you about the governors, but I'm talking about the federal government now. What exactly do you think the federal government needs to do at this point?
What I think the federal government should do at this point is to do collection of ideas from Nigerians. There were rumors of some money they've given out to the governors. Formerly, they said 5 billion naira. Later, we heard they collected 2 billion naira. And we're not talking about the one from the senior president. The federal government should either import food, they should either do food importation to mitigate this food crisis and hunger. With time, they can import it for like 6 months to mitigate this crisis. Then invest in our agriculture, fight the bandits who have chased the farmers out of their farms. I thank the military for their effort, but it's not enough. There should be extra manpower in the security forces to make sure that our people go to their farms, because the attacks from the bandits beforehand is one of the reasons for this scarcity of food. Removing subsidy is not a bad idea. We will never say it's a bad idea because of the timing. Again, the federal government should make sure, as the rainy season is fast approaching, our farmers should go back to the farm, equip the military the more, they should fight the bandits so that we can cultivate, we can plant crops and harvest. Then we can import food items. Let's remove big brother attitude, exaggeration as a gent of Africa. No. We can do some things to help ourselves and bounce back. Thank you.
Right, so let's stay on this for some minutes, because it's important to also talk about some of these interventionist measures by government. And one of the major challenges we have when it comes to rolling out these measures is that they do not get to those who need them. What can government do in this regard?
So they cannot get to those who need them?
Absolutely. Some of the government's interventionist measures, like cash transfer and a whole lot of them, sometimes they do not get to those who really need them. So I'm asking, what can government do in this regard?
Yes, that is why I said government should go beyond politicians. Government, I heard that I'm happy for the Oronsonia report, which the federal government implements. The national institution has to come in. The constitutional cash transfer, imagine when, okay, for instance, in the previous administration, if you Google my statement on the conditional cash transfer, on the Farouk school feeding, and all whatnot, those things are fallacy. Those things are fabrications. The federal government should probe that ministry, should probe there, because they have embezzled billions of naira, billions of dollars. So we have to be sincere to ourselves. I knew that Tinubu meant well for the country. The president meant well. He has seen it all. I don't think he come there to embezzlement. He has the Nigerians at heart. So right. He has to honestly get sincere people around him. People who are progressive, not people who are after their pockets. That's why we said, sack better edu. We don't support corruption. Those who cannot help to move the country forward, to mitigate this crisis, should be sacked. The national rulers should be invited. They have to work with the state government, work with the town union president of different communities, and the federal government should supervise it with sincere people, sincere acts, those who meant well. There are people that want to pull the government down.
Yeah.
People who don't meant well for the government of Bola Tinubu. He has to know the president is available to every information. So people want him to fail, but we want him to succeed for the good of Nigerians.
All right.
Thank you.
Right. So in an economically challenging time like this, how do states come in to complement the roles being played by the federal government? How would you charge state governors in mitigating this hardship on citizens in their various states?
The state governors they have been busy debunking the allegation from the Senate president. The Senate president said, unverified reports. Unverified report. That clause alone, you don't waste energy there. Again, I read him apologizing to the governors. So the governors, they have all the apparatus to reach to the downtrodden, to reach to the poor Nigerians, the helpless Nigerians. They have all the structures. They have the leadership of the local government, the national rulers under them. There are town unions, there are trade unions. There is Ohaneze, which I'm the president of the youth worldwide. That's why I said people need sincere hearts. The governors should help the president. Now, okay, take a look at the protests. Look at the states protest the protests were going on. Are their governors not receiving the same allocation with our governors in the Southeast? I want to thank the Southeast governor.
Are you there? Mr. Nabike? All right, please go ahead.
There was an interruption.
All right, so let me ask you my next question. Insecurity remains a big challenge to food production. How do we address this big problem?
Oh, hello?
Can you hear me?
Hello? Yes, I can hear you very clearly.
All right, so I want us to talk about insecurity, which has remained a big challenge to food production. So I'm asking, how do we address this big problem?
Yes. The insecurity is all over the country. That's why I've said that issue that the government have to fight the bandits to stand still. The government has to fight the bandits. Most of them are not from Nigeria. Abacha said that if insecurity is more than 1 week or 2 weeks, government should look around themselves. There are saboteurs, people sabotaging the government. But the government have to stand up. You have whatever it takes. You don't romance those trying to bring your government down. You face them head on. There is no mercy for a bandit who is causing us this dilemma. This hardship. We can't plex the bandits. They are killing our people. They are shedding blood. They are depriving them from going to our farms. Government should take it up.
All right. Mr. Nabike, we will have to bring you back on the program on another day because tonight we're out of time.
I have 1 or 2 things to say before I go.
Sadly, we're out of time. It's a 30-minute conversation tonight. We will bring you back on the program. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I've been speaking with the National President, Ohaneze Ndigbo Youth Organization. His name is Oku Nabike. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. And thanks a lot for watching. That marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight. But the conversation continues from here. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Olajimoke Olatunji. Good night. Jabi, where did you bring this person?
Following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. Today, there are many complex, boring, expensive, and useless exercise machines in the market. Or you pay over 400,000 naira a year for gym membership and never go. ShopX TV is proud to introduce Total Crunch Evolution, the compact, versatile fitness solution that is perfect for you. With Total Crunch, you get a complete fitness workout in one machine. Say goodbye to ineffective and complicated exercise machines. Now, you have the power to transform your fitness journey and get the body you have always wanted right in the comfort of your own home. Total Crunch is the efficient and effective way to build muscle, tone and tighten your legs, shape your back and pectorals, while strengthening your core and defining your abs. Now that's totally effective to get the body you want. With Total Crunch, your whole body works out at the same time. Only Total Crunch can put your whole body in motion as you burn calories and lose weight. Just one fitness routine a week will achieve serious results in 4 weeks.
Total Crunch Evolution has enhanced the way I work out and the results I achieve. It's not just a fitness equipment, it's a life changer. This versatile, time-saving machine is perfect for anyone looking to lose weight or stay in shape. Trust me, This is the game changer you've been waiting for.
With my busy schedule, finding time to work out and stay in shape has always been a challenge until I discovered the Total Crunch Evolution. It's a lifesaver.
Traditional exercise equipment is large, complex, takes up so much space in your home, and you could be paying up to 400,000 naira for annual gym fees. Get the Total Crunch Evolution, the 2-in-1 fitness solution to save the cost and transform your body from the convenience of your home. Similar equipment costs 300,000 naira, but you can get the Total Crunch Evolution for not 300,000 naira, not even 200,000 naira. Order right now and get your Total Crunch Evolution for just 179,950 naira only. And that's not all. You can get our Total Crunch Evolution in 2 easy payments of 89,975 naira. That's right. Pay twice to get your Total Crunch. And remember, if you order now, you get the Total Crunch Evolution delivered to you for free anywhere you are in Nigeria. And it comes with a ShopEx 30-day money-back guarantee. Call the number on your screen now or scan the code to place your order now. But hurry, limited stock available. The proceeding is a paid presentation brought to you by ShopEx TV.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening. At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Abu, you are wrong, Yomi. How could you say that?
I'm tired! Walking into movie scenes like these has become commonplace for residents of Asaba, as the high rate of movie production in this city is fast redefining its identity from being the capital of the oil-rich Delta State to a hub for the silver screen.
Mama Okachi, who finished my keg of palm wine? I mean, I left this keg of palm wine that Mazi Okechukwu brought to me this morning. Why is it now half? The motion picture industry in Nigeria, Nollywood, is a brand of recognized film which includes script writing,
directing, sound, acting, cinematography, makeup and editing.
Asaba right now is, I would say, is number one in the whole of Africa, not just Nigeria. It's number one. If 100 movies producing in the whole Nigeria, let me say 80 to 70% of the movies come from Asaba. That's the truth about it.
At the set of a movie produced by Mark Fudo, these Nollywood actors revealed why Asaba has turned out to be the toast of producers.
When you come into Delta State, like we're in this space now filming, we had about 3-4 other productions here. So for Asaba Delta State, it's business. People know what they're here for. They come here, they make movies. They know that this is something they can invest in and would have their returns in little or no time. So
Asaba is a wonderful location to shoot your movies. But when it comes to those very, very big, massive, but because the people here are yet to believe, just like the people in Lagos.
Movies here are shot and released in weeks to the market, and Mike Fudo, who started movie making in 2016, has made more than 14 movies this year alone, featuring A-list actors as well as up and coming talents.
The environment is peaceful. People here are welcoming, they are accommodating. People are coming in to invest. It's not just people that are coming in, they just do the movie and they go back. Most of them, they stay, they invest, they do business. Some of them, they marry and they settle here.
Stories are tailor-made to the market and storyline restricted to suit a few individuals investing in film production as well as sets are rented, with productions clashing and some A-list actors involving simultaneously in various projects. Nelly Edet is one of the new faces in the industry, and Asaba Nollywood has been the springboard to launching her and many others.
We are all the same industry, whether Lagos, Enugu, Asaba, we all the same industry. But I remember being in location in Lagos for like 2 weeks plus, but in Asaba it's not like that. We just want to shoot it today and the movie is out tomorrow. But you know, surprisingly, sometimes it comes out very well, like massively well.
The Delta State government, knowing the impact of the movie industry in Asaba, has not turned a blind eye. In 2019, the last administration of former Governor Ifeanyi Okowa initiated the Asaba Film Village project to give the entertainment industry a fortress. Though the project was delayed during the COVID-19 pandemic, but in January this year, it was inaugurated by former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. But how helpful has it been to produce movies in Asaba?
Yes, the Film Village was built by a wonderful governor, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, but the people hardly the Film Village, tourism and what have you. Hello. Who are your consultants when you were building the Film Village? You went to build a Film Village where you have an amusement park?
Here is business place. You work with your budget. You understand? Like, there is this my friend that worked in Film Village last week. He paid 100,000 naira per day for only a stereo. You understand? Based on the kind of project he's handling. When you're handling a big project, you can chest that 100k a day. But when the project is small, you go for cheaper place.
Government can still manage the Film Village. My suggestion is they should hand it over to Nollywood to manage, because we know what and what to fix in there and what we need, and the cost of it should be reduced.
Delta State Commissioner for Culture and Tourism oversees the Asaba Film Village.
We have a concessionaire managing the place, and then currently he's in touch with the ministry via the state government. So we're working we're in synergy in making sure that the purpose of which the Film Village is being erected is being met. This is not the first time I'm hearing about the fees and the prices of whatever you're referring to. But I had to I called the attention of the management, the concessionaire in question.
The Delta State government revealed that its investment in the film industry by building the Film Village is yielding results already and attracting international partnership.
Let them come down. Let them come down. It's not about going through the media. They should come down to Asaba and see what. And I'm aware that they don't know about this UNESCO approval for Asaba for a film academy. It is not in Nigeria. They just approved it for Asaba, and the World Bank is on it.
TVC News crew visited the Film Village, and as rightly said, a concessionaire is running the outfit, but surprisingly, the manager, who refused to speak on camera, revealed that they have not started charging for production of movies, and there are plans on the way to meet movie producers. A visit to the studio reveals state-of-the-art equipment for audio and visual production, which can revolutionize the film industry in Asaba. There is also contemporary sets and other sets for shooting epic movies. All these are yet to be put to use.
Asaba is one of the 5 major locations. Others are Lagos, Onitsha, Abuja, and Enugu. The question many movie producers are asking is that will Asaba Film Village eventually become the home of Nollywood?
Abuja, the nation's capital, has 6 area councils with over 500 communities. Kuje Area Council is about 34 kilometers away from the city center and has within it several communities. The further you go away from Kuje town, the more it is made obvious what communities face as the lack of social amenities become more glaring. Godoji is one of the communities in Kuje Area Council. It is closely flanked by Wumi, Tondo and Shaji, and between them, they share over 2,000 residents who are predominantly farmers. Getting to this community is a Herculean task with the state of its roads. Motorcycle is the major means of transportation for locals if they want to link Kuje town. The trip to Godoji was a nightmare as it was not easy for our vehicle to navigate the bad roads. But more revelations await us when we arrive. The primary school in this community falls short of the required standard learning environment for children, with leaking roof, broken chairs and floors a common feature. After several weeks of resumption, the classrooms are almost empty. Life is grim in these parts. Despite the fact that this school serves 4 communities, attendance is still very low, and most parents cannot afford to send their wards to school. This junior secondary school is the highest educational institution in Godoji and its environs, and it's meant to serve over 4 communities. The communities have no senior secondary school where the children can further their education. TVC News crew visited the village head of the community, who shared with us how their children have to travel miles to acquire junior secondary education.
Most of the children do not continue with the secondary school due to the distance of the school to our community. For the few that go to Kuje, where there is senior secondary school, they pay heavily in transportation due to the bad road or trek the distance. Most times our children miss the examinations, especially in rainy season. They can't go out of the house. Having a senior secondary school in our community will be very appreciated to reduce the stress the students are going through. To also help the students to focus more on their studies without having trouble going to school again, as some of the children are always trekking. But if we have our own, we cannot suffer like that again.
How they cope when going to junior secondary school. They get admission. After here, they get there are some secondary schools outside this village, like Godoji, Tukwiki, and some even Shadadi in Kujede. So, since there's no vehicle, once they're admitted, they try to trek daily to those schools.
16-year-old Asaba Luka had to drop out of school due to the lack of senior secondary school in her community.
I don't do school.
I attended school up to junior secondary school, but I have to drop out due to the distance of the school to my house, and my parents cannot afford the transport fare every day. I stopped attending school at JSS 3. If I get the privilege to go back, I will. If not, I will wait till I can afford to go. For now, I will learn tailoring.
The closest senior secondary school to this community is in Tukpechi, and a bike ride costs 500 naira. The option for the few who have chosen to further their education is to either trek the distance or to take a bike to and fro, which costs 1,000 naira per day. Karima and her brother did not further their education despite having a junior secondary school within their community due to the inability of their parents to afford enrollment fee of 20,000 naira.
My parents cannot afford the money for the registration into JSS 1. I will like to go back to school if they have the money.
There is need for urgent intervention from relevant authorities if enrollment is to improve in this part. Setting up a senior secondary school that will serve the 4 communities is the first step to ensure that education does not stop at primary level for many children here. We visited the FCT Secondary Education Board where we met with the director to ask him why there are no senior secondary schools in most communities in the nation's capital. He explained that the communities are yet to make requests for a secondary school to be situated in their locality. But he assures that the board will begin the process for an establishment of a senior secondary school that will serve Godoji and its environ.
Like this year alone, we have more than 30 requests coming from communities for the establishment of senior secondary schools in their community. And out of 30, I think 15, 17 or thereabouts have scaled through because we have criteria. This is the population in the junior secondary school. After graduating the junior certificate, then how many students will move to? And what are the annexing community that are so close that will serve as a central point that when they finish their junior secondary school, at least we have a senior secondary school that can absorb all these junior secondary school. And in the request we put up to the Honorable Minister, who graciously approved at 2024, and we still send the file back for further confirmation and other things which we are working on. We are going to establish 17 more to at least cover up for the shortfall that we have of the senior secondary school, and based on requests sent to us by communities.
A 2022 UNESCO report notes that approximately 20 million of Nigerians, approximately 200 million population, are not enrolled in school. This amounts to 10% of Nigerians' entire population and is more than the overall population of some other African countries. The United Nations Children's Fund says 70% of children in school are not learning, a development which must be addressed by stakeholders.
Meet 82-year-old Mrs. Ajoke Mohammed, now called Mama, wife of former head of state, General Muritala Mohammed. The unceremonious death of her husband in 1976 marked a new chapter in the life of Mrs. Ajoke Mohammed. At 33, the reality of her new status as a widow dawned on her. Besides, her businesses could not thrive because of government's ban on importation at that time. Mama is a trained dental therapist. She tells me that her love for nature started after her husband's death when she moved into a new house with a garden. Since then, she has not looked back.
We have life. Plants are living things.
Like a Trojan, she says determination has made her relentless in the pursuit of her found love.
After 8 years, those ones started fruiting at the age of 12, but this one started fruiting at 8. And since then, they've never stopped fruiting. As they drop a set of fruits, the new sets are forming on the tree. And this bismarckia that used to be such a rare commodity, for me it became so common that we have over 200 plants.
In the last decades, this 20-hectare garden has become Mama's second home, where plants of various shapes and sizes, including those going into extinction, are conserved. Indeed, for over 3 decades, Mama has been on a mission to conserve, propagate, and disseminate forgotten indigenous plants. This garden